Morning, friends. This morning thought is nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. I repeat, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a driving force. There is no denying the fact that enthusiasm is a driving force. You see, by the philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson says that nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. The philosophy says that passion, deep excitement, and genuine belief are the essential fuels for accomplishing monumental goals. I repeat, you know, deep excitement, passion, passion, and genuine belief are the essential fuels for accomplishing monumental goals. Talent and hard work are vital, but without a compelling drive, pushing through challenges is nearly impossible. There are many people who lack enthusiasm in life. They work hard, they're laborious, they're intelligent, they have skill, but as they lack the driving force in between their journey of success, somewhere they really get stuck. So it is very important to have enthusiasm in life. A patient was lying in bed only because somebody told her that when the last leaf of that tree falls, he will die. That belief made her sick for several months. But once a very, genuine motivator came and he said that he will never die and the last leaf will never fall. He made an artist request that create exactly a leaf which is resembling that last leaf, and when the last leaf falls, put that leaf in place of it. And having seen that painted you know leaf, she believed that now the last leaf is not falling even when there are storms. So that brought a kind of enthusiasm, a driving force for living in life. And she just this thought positivity that no, as the last leaf will not fall, I will survive, and she recovered. So it was, what was the driving force? The driving force was that she was made to believe that she was not going to die because the last leaf will never fall, and that happened. So when you create a driving force in yourself, when you are being pursued by a driving force, nobody can stop you from achieving success. See, talents are important, hard works are important, but without a compelling driving force, you cannot really pull out the challenges from your life. The deeper meaning is that etymological roots, the word enthusiasm has come from the Greek word in, that means within, and theos means God. Within God, that means you have to have a faith in yourself that that divine inspiration of God is in you. Having a spirit within is called enthusiasm. So literally, you must have a spirit, driving spirit within you. Then only you will be able to come out of difficulties and go for success in life. There are other parts. The antidote to mediocrity. Without enthusiasm, people often sleepwalk through daily routine. It turns a mundane task or a frightening challenge into a meaningful mission. The fuel to resilience. See, what is the fuel to resilience? The enthusiasm. The enthusiasm is the fuel to resilience. Achieving greatness inevitably involves setbacks, failures, and fatigue. These are the three things that are bound to happen in your life. Failures are bound to happen, fatigue is bound to happen, and setbacks are bound to happen. So long as we are in life, we are bound to face these things. But the enthusiasm provides the psychological energy to stay committed to a goal long after the initial excitement wears all the negative things and go ahead in life. Therefore, friends, every child must be enthusiastic. Every person must be enthusiastic in life. Then only life can be meaningful. So what are the things that you are going to do to have enthusiastic approach in life? Number one, you make enthusiasm and unlocking creativity. Unlock your creativity. Everybody is creative. When you are genuinely excited about a project, your brain opens up to new perspective, innovative problem solving, and you always think out of box the ideas. It increases focus. Enthusiastic people lose interest in their unenthusiastic people never they always lose faith in themselves, but enthusiastic people never lose their faith in their work and their in themselves. They possess great thoughts, often sacrificing leisure into work. When you are in leisure, even just think for a while that when you are leisure, what are the thoughts going on your mind? So enthusiasm increases focus. You always try to utilize your leisure into productive activity, and brings some meaningful product in life, joy in life, and therefore cultivate enthusiasm. How will you cultivate? This is the question. How to cultivate enthusiasm in your life? First of all, whenever you are struggling to find zeal for your own life or work, you can actively develop and discover why. The question always you is to be put before you is why. Why enthusiasm is essential. Take time to reflect upon what gives you a sense of purpose and joy, and try to align your daily tasks with those broader goals. Then experiment with your own interest. Your interest is very important. What are your interests? Try to experiment with your interests. Actively explore different hobbies or projects until you find a domain that naturally sparks your curiosity. So try to discover yourself and always ask question why. Take some time to reflect upon you, and that will give you a sense of purpose and joy in life. Try to align your daily tasks with those broader goals. Then experiment with your interest. Actively explore different hobbies and projects until you find a domain that naturally sparks your curiosity. Then, last but not the least, focus on growth. There are people in life who waste their energy and talent without focusing on growth. They just think that, well, I am doing the work, but whether the work is in the right direction, whether the task has been directed in a positive way or not, they never see. So shift your mindset to view challenges as an exciting opportunity, and to learn rather than taking it as a burden. Many of us take, if you talk to some negative minded people, they'll say that, oh, life is very boring. Why life is boring? You have never searched that zeal, that driving force in yourself. You have never created a hobby in life. You have never taken up any activity which makes you happy. How will you be driven by the force against the resilience? See, overcome the obstacles only with you be among the people who are very enthusiastic. The people who are very enthusiastic, they always believe in their ability, and they transform, fixed things into bigger things. This energy burns of apathy and creates unstoppable, mission forward, and a kind of momentum is created in your life. It is very important to create a momentum. When you are working, create a momentum. So there are four important things that you can do. Number, discover your why. Always take time to reflect upon what gives you a sense of purpose and joy. There are many things that will give you a sense of joy, and there are things that will not give you a sense of, forget about that thing. And anything that gives you a sense of joy and purpose, catch that and discover in yourself only by reflection. Experiment with your own interest. Your interest is important. Actively explore different hobbies and projects which makes you a domain of happiness and a spark your curiosity. And last but not the least, always focus on growth. That is very important, and that is what is that the reason behind being enthusiastic. Without being enthusiastic, nothing great can be achieved, and that is what Edison believes. Thank you. Have a nice morning.